We are just a few miles from the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Seattle Seahawks and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney! Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, first down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, where that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
Now Jones, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 4 there, and it's third down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
First carry now. This is Johnson. And able to find a little space. He gets this up over the 15 to the 16. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
And they'll get him down here at the 23. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct? Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Now he's forced out left. Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Vernon Hargreaves with a pick. And nearly a touchdown as they finally stop him down at about the 3-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Now Jones, and he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line.
No.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Here's Jones. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Ronald Jones, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bucs have taken a first-quarter lead. A good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdowns scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Carlson now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. On 2nd down, Johnson. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. We'll call that a 49-yard punt, but a net of just 39 following the 10-yard return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 16. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them.
And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Dancing to his left. Now he's going to throw deep, and that's caught inside the 30. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. A big play there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. Extra point good by Prater. And we are tied at 7. So we're right back where we started. All even as the kick's away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Flag down. This could set him back. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. There's the Penn State man. It's Chris Godwin. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Set. 3-19. 3-19. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week, and we just saw their first one of this game.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Back to throw. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. A give to Jones, and he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. Fielded at the 20. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And it'll be Seahawk football 1st and 10. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
If you're the coaching staff upstairs, you might want to file that play away. Did you see how fast the safety closed on that one? Coming up in run support, made a big-time tackle. Might want to try and check into a pass next time.
Yeah, got him for a loss. Really, really great play defensively. He gets it left side to Johnson. That one goes for 36 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Wide open receiver complete. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. In for the score. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier, but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well.
Green 39! Green 39!
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. Bringing him down defensively, Jayon Brown. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
And on 3rd and inches, we're going to get a whistle and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. They'll go with a keeper, and he will push forward and pick up the 1st down. He'll grab 3 yards on the play, taking it himself for the 1st down.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
Now this time he'll look to throw. And this is incomplete. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they've bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. The Bucs on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
Detroit! Detroit!
Looking to throw. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely he's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. A gain of 3, second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
All right, now, look at 56. Look it.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. This is Montgomery with a grab over the middle. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Johnson on the counter. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They'll drop the throw. It's caught. Lockett. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down. Here we go with Johnson. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that. But by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on fourth down. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
Detroit!
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Able to get away. And the pressure gets to him again.
Well, that's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. He'll look to throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. And whistle blown. A timeout here is taken, and it's taken by the kicking team. As the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Ryan Quigley now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Just 11 seconds to go in the half as they have it first and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he'll power his way up near the 25. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. The give is to Jones. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. And out now come the Seahawks. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On play action, they'll throw. Caught by Montgomery. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. Underneath for Johnson. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 11 more on that one, and another first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Carlton Davis picks it. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Again, it's Jones. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Now back to throw. Drops it to Jones in the flat. And he's able to get up here to the 26. They'll give him 8 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Pass incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They'll look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times. Tried to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete. I don't know, he had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
You know, I'm thinking about the mental focus, you know?
Yeah.
The mental focus.
Yeah, that's true.
Got to stay with it.
That's true. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll try and get the running game going with Jones. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
He'll drop to throw. Flush to his right. Now he's going to throw it deep to the other side of the field. That's going to be caught. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. A big play there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Buccaneers are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And Austin Safarian-Jenkins has it. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Back to throw now on first down. Dumping it off for Johnson. And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out, and the Buccaneers have it. Well, let's see now, Charles. That's 7 turnovers between last week and this week. 3 here in this game, 4 in last week's game.
You know I do my research, right? And I go all the way back to the best coaches that have ever been in this game, and all of them started with ball security in some form or another, understanding that taking care of the ball was the key to winning games. They can't believe what they're seeing right now because they spend all this time on it with the fundamentals, taking care of it, tucking it away, and they're not doing it. Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box, and guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
Hey. Got three.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he slings one that's incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's got a man. It's the tight end, Howard, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
Watch him now, Barney.
They're going to look to throw. Left side here, that's complete to Gywu. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. But there's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
They'll go again to Jones. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and back to throw here. And incomplete. Almost intercepted. The D lineman almost had it. Couldn't hang on.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
And he's going to take this all the way down to the 40-yard line.
And when you're facing a deficit on the scoreboard, you're just looking for something to get you right back into the game, and that's the spark that they were looking for. They got it with that big return.
Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. Screenplay, Johnson. And he gets it down to the 32. A good first down call as the screenplay gets him 9.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. And this defense continues to give them fits. They just can't get really anything going on the ground, can they?
I love the theme that you just brought up. This defense has been tough all game long against the run. We just saw another example of it there.
And the Seahawks on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And now running right through it. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit.
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked up by M.J. Stewart. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. They'll run it now out of the gun. Fighting him off, refusing to go down. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up. They'll set up a throw. Evans has it left side. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Looking to throw. He's got his tight end over the middle, O.J. Howard. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A good pick up there of 20 yards. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
No. Check. Patriot.
They'll pitch it out to Jones. Busting through contact. Just wasn't a huge hole there for him to operate. Stopped just inside the 35-yard line. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
And he'll go down at the 28. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3-and-out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down.
And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
Green 39! Green 39! Hot! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. You'd have to think likely another running play coming here, second and 11.
Gun!
Here's Jones. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. Jones, and he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The kick by Carlson is good, and they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Yeah, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution.
Gun!
He'll look to throw. Looking left sideline, it's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep down. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Carlton Davis picks it, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Buccaneers, they use the favorable early schedule to their advantage as they move to 2-0.
I got so much beef. frontin' when I up it, I'ma squeeze. Bad companies, bad for your company.